Hi everyone, I'm Mena Angelfire and welcome back, explorers, to Tiny Tales. Be sure to also look at the description below for all credits given. And with that said, let's continue the Homecoming Fire. The Homecoming Fire, Part 2, Tale. Mimidra will tell the tale of how this one's family came to be. Many cycles ago now, Heleniko was very young and came to her mage band, the Moonlit Paws. This one was still young and traveled much. Mimidra began telling the sad tale of her eldest cub. Helene, it turned out, at first was apprenticed to young Mimidra, who was known as Mimiko back then. Helene's mother and father had been struggling farmers, but when they saw their cub's talent with magic and healing, they got in touch with the traveling band of mages called the Moonlit Paws. For a few years, things were fine, and Helene was able to visit with her parents. But one year, when they returned, the farmstead was ablaze. Helene was held back from running to see if her parents were okay, while another member of their group scudded ahead. When he returned, it wasn't happy news. Some of the Dunmer were on the hunt for people to enslave. Helene's parents were, according to Scout, among the few lucky ones. Lucky meaning they were dead. Some of the villagers had been captured already, and the tracks that could be seen were heading north. It didn't take long for the Moonlit Paws to decide to set any captured peoples free from the Dunmer slavers. Little Helene had a harder time of it, as she was grieving the loss of her parents. It was at this time that Mimiko had begun acting more as a mother figure to Helene. She still taught Helene what she knew of the healing arts and magic. The other members of the Moonlit Paws also took turns teaching Helene what they knew. One day, they stopped to rest in the middle of one of Elsewhere's many deserts. It had been nearly a year since they had begun tracking the slavers. That was why the current leader of the band, a Khajiit mage with one keen eye, had called a halt. It was during this time that a white butterfly had landed on Helene's nose. Her first reaction was to bat at it, and when she didn't catch the butterfly, she began to chase it. But as she came to the top of a dune, she instantly went flat. She could see that a caravan was under attack. She quickly returned to her guardian and told Mimiko what she had seen. Within minutes, the Moonlit Paws had been gathered and were going to rescue those of the nearby caravan. Since One Eye was absent for an unknown reason, the rescue mission fell to Mimiko. The Khajiit healer mage led her mage band to fight the Dunmer slavers. Helene had stayed behind with a few Khajiit warriors. They had tagged along as added protection for the young cub. Eleni was in the middle of doing a summoning Mimiko had taught her, when One Eye began to approach her. The Khajiit warriors didn't think there was any danger as One Eye got closer to the cub. Suddenly, his paws held her tight and gave a very low whisper. "Shame that you now have to take your parents' place." Eleni's ears flattened as she hissed at One Eye's comment. At that moment, her very own feral guardian roared as it rose to its full height and smacked One Eye away. Its glowing eyes were full of magic power as it lowered itself to all fours, charging the Khajiit mage known as One Eye. The warriors took notice and went to Helene's side. They asked Helene why her feral guardian was attacking One Eye, but they stopped asking her questions when they realized why One Eye had called the halt. It was simply to keep them from seeing the caravan or the Dunmer slavers. As they dealt with One Eye, Mimiko and the others were fighting the Dunmer slavers. In the end, the slavers were all killed. Their captives, finally being released and freed, were a mix of Khajiit and one lone Bosmer. The Bosmer's eyes widened as she saw a white butterfly land on Mimiko. The Khajiit healer looked and was surprised as it began to fly away, but stopped. Mimiko wasn't sure what to think, but as she followed the butterfly, she was able to see the aftermath of the sleeper's attack. She shook her head as she followed the white butterfly into one of the carriages. She stopped dead in her tracks as she witnessed the white butterfly landing ever so gently on the nose of a sleeping Senshi leopard, who was in the middle of nursing her cubs. At first, she thought there were 4 cubs, but the 4th turned out to be a Bosmer infant who, being hungry, nursed from the mother leopard. Slowly, she approached the big cat, not wanting to wake her, but once she was near, the leopard simply licked her closed paw and purred. I'm afraid I'm going to have to end this episode here and leave you all with this. If you have been enjoying my content, please feel free to leave a like and or subscribe. You can also leave a comment down below in the comment section. Be sure to hit that notification bell because YouTube doesn't always like to share. Be safe, be healthy, and as always, be true to you. Mena Angelfire, signing off.